Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most famous musical artists who culturally peaked with their very first album. Number 10, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. In the summer of 1987, hard rock never sounded so dangerous, or so dang catchy. Appetite for Destruction dropped with Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, and Sweet Child of Mine, three immortal bangers that remain some of the most beloved and replayed rock songs in history. They also catapulted the album to over 30 million copies sold worldwide. And while Guns did follow it up with a hugely successful Use Your Illusion series, those sprawling double albums didn't have quite the same cultural impact. And let's not even talk about the spaghetti incident and Chinese democracy. One record made them legends, but the rest proved that capturing lighting in a bottle twice is easier said than done. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Number 9, Avril Lavigne, Let Go. He was a skater boy, she said see you later boy, he wasn't good enough for her. In 2002, a skater girl from Canada rolled onto the scene and became the voice of every angsty teen around the world. With ginormous hits like Complicated, I'm With You, and of course Skater Boy, Let Go was pure pop-punk perfection and helped influence future female-centric pop-punk acts like Paramore. Tell me why did go make things so complicated? Lavigne became an instant superstar, and the albums remained one of the best-selling albums of the 21st century by a Canadian artist. But her follow-ups leaned harder into pop gloss and lost that harder and more rebellious edge. Sure, she had a few more hits like Girlfriend and My Happy Ending, but none matched the cultural firestorm of her debut. Let Go still stands as the definitive Avril album, with eyeliner and baggy pants to prove it. I don't know who you are, but I'm with you. Number 8, The Strokes, Is This It? Last night, she said, I'll never feel so down. What an oddly prescient title. When Is This It hit in 2001, critics hailed The Strokes as rock's saviors. With a raw garage rock swagger and Julian Casablancas' lazy drawl, the band shot indie rock into the mainstream and greatly influenced future Brit garage bands like Arctic Monkeys. Tracks like Last Night and Someday were instant indie anthems and were played endlessly on the radio. And while their later albums experimented with broader sounds and generated some hits, none captured the same effortless swagger of Is This It? The Strokes didn't exactly flame out, but Is This It became a benchmark for cool, and unfortunately, that benchmark was just too high for even its makers to clear again. Number 7, The Doors, The Doors. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side. When you think of The Doors, what songs do you think of? Break On Through, Alabama Song, Light My Fire, The End? Well, believe it or not, every single one of those songs appears on their debut eponymous album. Very few rock artists have made through such a demanding and confident introduction, and to this day, The Doors remains their best-selling album with over 13 million copies sold. There was some solid singles after this, including the legendary People Are Strange, and LA Woman is a great album that gives The Doors a run for its money. But in terms of sheer cultural osmosis, there's just no beating its iconic slew of songs.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend, the end.
Number 6, Boston, Boston. Talk about about hitting the ground running and then falling flat on your face. Boston's 1976 debut was stuffed with arena rock staples like Peace of Mind, Long Time, and of course, More Than a Feeling, which is quintessential 70s rock. Immaculate production, soaring vocals, and giant riffs, this album was practically built to echo through stadiums. The album sold like crazy and became the best-selling debut album in American history at the time. Their later albums were fine, we guess. But constant delays and fierce internal drama meant that the band only released one album per decade between the 80s and 2010s. So, to say that they failed to capitalize on the momentum would be a massive understatement. Number 5, Sex Pistols. Never mind the bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. It's hard to beat your debut album when that's all you have. The brilliantly titled Never Mind the Bollocks came out in the fall of 1977 and detonated like a punk rock grenade. Loud, brash, and unapologetically snotty, it solidified punk as a mainstream sensation with anthems like Anarchy in the UK and God Save the Queen, songs that both scandalised Britain and electrified the youth like nothing else.
God save the Queen! We made it, man!
But the Sex Pistols imploded almost as quickly as they arrived, with infighting tearing them apart in under 3 years. They never released another proper album, but they didn't need to. With just one record, they rewrote music history, and maybe even culture as a whole.
I am an anti-coaster. I am an anarcho-coaster.
Number 4, The Stone Roses. The Stone Roses. In 1989, the Stone Roses seemed poised to conquer the world. Their debut fused jangly guitars and danceable grooves with songs like I Wanna Be Adored and She Bangs the Drums, defining the Manchester era. And while the album wasn't an immediate success, strong word of mouth helped it grow, and within no time it was considered a modern classic.
I can see her as she comes. She bangs the drum.
But then nothing. Legal issues and a painfully slow recording process killed their momentum, and by the time their second album arrived 5 years later, the Britpop movement was in full swing, and no one really cared anymore. The Stone Roses is still a masterpiece, but it's also a sad reminder of what could have been.
She'll carry on through it all. She's a woman.
Number 3, Terence, Trent, D'Arby. Introducing the hardline according to Terence, Trent, D'Arby.
Wish me love, oh wishing well, to kiss and tell, oh wishing well, crocodile she'd say.
No one much remembers Terence Trent D'Arby these days, but his 1987 debut made him look like the next Prince or Michael Jackson. With soulful vocals and funky swagger, hits like Wishing Well, If You Let Me Stay, and Sign Your Name made him an international star.
Sign your name across my heart, I want you to be my baby.
Critics raved, and D'Arby himself declared it was one of the greatest albums ever made. Bold words. Too bad he couldn't produce a worthy follow-up. Subsequent albums got weirder, less commercial, and faded fast from the charts. And while he reinvented himself later under the name Sananda Maitreya, the new name did not bring about new success. At least he has the one same proclaimed masterpiece to fall back on.
And I must apologize, I'll try better next time, baby, if you let me stay.
Number 2, Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rear View.
Well, there's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you.
In the mid-1990s, Cracked Rear View was everywhere. The album procured 3 top 10 singles in Hold My Hand, Let Her Cry, and Only Wanna Be With You, which remains the band's highest charting single. The band delivered feel-good, radio-friendly rock that struck a chord with just about everyone, and Cracked Rear View went on to sell over 20 million copies in the US.
Want you to hold my hand.
But here's the catch. That level of success is nearly impossible to replicate. Their follow-up albums were certainly decent, but general audiences quickly moved on, and Hootie mania fizzled. Lead singer Darius Rucker later reinvented himself as a country artist, perhaps signaling a desire to distance himself from the unmatchable heights of his early career.
And if the sun comes up tomorrow, let her be.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This one hurts. In the best way, of course. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill dropped in 1998 and was instantly regarded as a masterpiece. Blending the likes of hip-hop, soul, reggae, and gospel, it gave us timeless tracks like Doo Wop, That Thing, and X Factor.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy.
Lauryn took home Album of the Year at the Grammys and redefined what a solo female artist can do, influencing untold artists along the way. But instead of a follow-up, she intentionally retreated from the spotlight, weighed down by the industry pressures and personal struggles. She later threw her fans a bone with a live album in 2002, but she never released another record. To this day, this is the most quintessential one-and-done album in music history.
Let me tell you that everything is everything. Everything is everything.
What other albums from these artists are worth listening to? Let us know in the comments down below.